Hello, hi, Assalamualaikum, dan selamat sejahtera to all my students. Alright, okay, so let's not wasting our time. Today we are going to continue our discussion on the 14.2 musculoskeletal system of humans. Alright, in my previous video, we already discussed about the human vertebral column. Okay, do you still remember what is a human vertebral column? It is referred to our backbone. Yeah, so there are 5 types of the vertebral column. Okay, what are they? They are cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae, sacral vertebrae, and caudal vertebrae. Okay, so all of them are 33 bones of our human vertebral column. Alright, okay, I hope you still can remember that. Alright, okay, so for today we are going to continue the other parts, the other parts of the human skeletal system, which is very important. Right, okay, we go to the learning standards. Okay, number 4, state types of joints in the human skeletal system. They are referred to the immovable joints, slightly movable joints, and freely movable joint. Okay, so these are referred to the 3 types of joints in the human skeletal system. And the second one, learning standard for today, draw, label, and explain the human forearm hinge joint structure. That consists of bones, cartilage, skeletal muscles, tendons, ligaments, synovial membrane, and synovial fluid. Okay, so all of these refer to the structure of the joint. The structure of the joint. So you have to draw, you have to label, and explain the function of each structure. Okay, so now we go to the first learning standard. Okay, so you have to know what is joint and what are the types of the joint. Okay, actually, what is a joint? Joints are points where 2 or more bones meet, or cartilage and bones meet. Alright, so I repeat, what is a joint? Joint refers to the point or area where the 2 or more bones meet, or the area or the point where the cartilage and the bones meet. Alright, so cartilage refers to the soft tissue. Okay, so joint refer to the point. Okay, point where the 2 or more bones meet. Yeah, example, our elbow. Okay, so our elbow refer to the a point or an area. Yeah, area where our 2 bones meet. Right, actually more than 2 bones meet here. Yeah, 3 bones meet at our elbow. So that is joint, the area or the point where 2 or more bones meet. Alright, okay, so now let's go to the types of the joint. Okay, there are 3 types of the joint. Okay, what are they? First one is immovable. Yeah, immovable. Immovable refers to the joint that cannot move. Yeah, the joint cannot move. Yeah. Then we go to the second one, slightly movable joints. And the third one is freely movable joint. Okay, example of the immovable joint, is referred to the suture at the cranium of the skull. Okay, so this is referred to the suture. Yes, suture, the points where the cranium, where the cranium of the skull meet. Okay, so this is referred to the suture. Suture refer to the immovable joint that cannot move. Right, it is a joint, but this joint cannot move. Right, that's why it's called as immovable joint. Yeah, it is just a point where the 2 bones meet. Alright, okay, that is referred to the suture of the skull. Okay, next we go to the slightly movable joint. Slightly movable joint. It can move, but slightly. Yeah, all right. Okay, so example is cartilage disc, yeah, between the vertebrae and between first rib and sternum. Okay, so the cartilage disc here, yeah, refer to the slightly movable joint. It can move but slightly. Yeah, it can move but slightly. It's not freely move. Yeah, it's not freely move, right? Slightly move. Okay. The other example is refer to the cartilage here. Yeah, cartilage between the ribs and sternum. Okay, so this is our sternum, so this is our ribs. Okay, so this is referred to the cartilage here, the soft bones, yeah, the soft bones, yeah, between the sternum and also the rib cage here. Yeah, all right, so this is referred to the slightly movable joint. Okay, and last one, okay, it is referred to the freely movable joint. It is a joint that allow the free movement. Yeah, okay, and allow free movement. Okay, example of the joints are hinge joint and socket joint. Yeah, so in freely movable joints, there are two types of the freely movable joints. The joints we call as hinge joint and socket joint. Yeah, hinge joint and the socket joint. Example of the hinge joint is at the elbow. Yeah, hinge joint at the elbow. Okay, so this is referred to the example of the hinge joint. Yeah, that allow movement. Yeah, that allow movement. Okay, the other types of the freely movable joint is ball and socket joint. Okay, ball and socket joint. Okay, so this is example of the ball and socket joint. Right. Okay. Now we go to the next slide. Right. So this is referred to the general structure of a freely movable joint and the function of its part. Right. So you have to know. Okay. You have to know the structure of a freely movable joint. Structure of the joints, and you have to know the function of each part of this joint. Okay, so the joint consists of, what? First we go to this one. Okay, the outer layer of the joint is referred to the capsule. Yeah, so the outer layer of the joint here refer to the capsule. Alright, so what is a capsule? Refer to the fibrous tissue that encloses and provides protection to the joint. Yeah, so this is our joint. So again, what is joint? Joint refer to the area or the points where the two or more bones meet. Right, so this is bone, this is bone. Right, so when the two bones meet, so this area or this point we call as joint. Okay, so the first structure of the joint just now, as I said, it is capsule. Yeah, capsule is the outer layer of the joint here. What is the function of the capsule? It encloses and provide protection to the joint. Yeah, provide protection to the joint. Okay, next we go to the second part. Yeah, okay, the second part, second structure of the joint, which is synovial membrane. Okay, so this is referred to the synovial membrane. Okay, just now is capsule, the outer layer. So here, so this is referred to the synovial membrane. Okay, remember, synovial membrane is only can be found at the joint only. Yeah, okay, synovial membrane. Okay, what is the function of the synovial membrane? Secretes or produce, yeah, synovial fluid. Yes, synovial fluid into the synovial cavity. So this is referred to the synovial cavity. Yes, synovial cavity. What is the function of the synovial membrane? It secretes the fluid inside to the synovial cavity. Okay, again, what is the function of synovial membrane? Secrete synovial fluid into the synovial cavity. Okay, so inside the synovial cavity, there is synovial fluid. Yes, synovial fluid refer to the fluid that's secreted by the synovial membrane. Okay, what is the function of the synovial fluid? Yeah, as a lubricant. Yeah, lubricant. Yeah, lubricant. Yeah, that can reduce the friction between the ends of the bones. Okay, so so the synovial fluid is inside the synovial cavity. It is a fluid. Yeah, fluid act as a lubricant. Yeah, lubricant that will reduce the friction. So you have to remember, you have to know that every time the bone move, yeah, friction will occur between the two bones. So how to reduce the friction? Okay, by synovial fluid. Alright, okay, synovial fluid act as a lubricant to reduce the friction between the ends of the two bones here. Alright, okay, so that is synovial fluid. And then we go to the cartilage. Okay, the soft bones here. Yeah, the soft bones at the end of the bone there is the cartilage. Yeah, cartilage. Yeah, it is a soft bone. It acts as a cushion. Right, act as a cushion to the joint, absorb shocks, reduce friction between the bones and protect the bones from wearing out. Okay, so the cartilage here act as a cushion and also absorb the shocks. Yeah, okay, example when we fall down, so the cartilage will absorb the shock. Yeah, the shock. Okay, and also reduce the friction. Yeah, friction. Okay, friction between the bones and also protect the bones from wearing out. Okay, so that is referred to the function of the cartilage. Alright, so this is referred to the general structure. Yeah, so the general structure of a freely movable joint. Yeah, freely movable joint that consists of the capsule and synovial membrane, okay, synovial fluid, yeah, inside the synovial cavity here, and cartilage. Alright, okay, I hope you can remember this structure and also what's its function. Yeah, what's its function? Okay, next we go to the freely movable joint. Freely movable joints, right? As I said before, freely movable joint can be divided into two types. Okay, so you have to know that freely movable joint refer to the joint that allow the movement. That allow the movement, right? Okay, so they are divided into two types. Okay, called as hinge joint, and the second one is ball and socket joint. Yeah, ball and socket joint. Okay, so this is an example of our elbow. Yeah, of our elbow. So elbow refer to the hinge joint. Yeah, so this is example of the hip joint. Yeah, hip joint. So hip joint is example of the ball and socket joint. A ball and socket joint. Okay, we go first to the hinge joint, the first type of the freely movable joint. Okay, so the hinge joint will allow movement in one plane only. Yeah, allow movement in one plane only. Yeah, one plane means that it allow the lower leg, yeah, to swing back and forth, right? So means that the bone, yeah, the joint, yeah, will allow the movement in one way. Yeah, not in one way, just in one plane. Yeah, whether it will go back or forth. yeah, back or forth, right? So it's just in one plane. Yeah, the hinge joint will allow the movement in one plane. Okay, example of the hinge joint is at our elbow. Yeah, elbow, knee, phalanges, yeah, of the fingers and also toes. Yeah, so this hinge joint only allow the movement in one plane only. Okay. Next, we go to the second types of the freely movable joint, which is ball and socket joint. Okay, ball and socket joint. Okay, look at your shoulder joint. Okay, the shoulder joint. Try to move your hand. Yeah. Okay. So can we move in one plane or we can move in all direction? Okay, so we can move in all direction. Yeah, we can move our hand in all direction because the shoulder joint is a ball and socket joint. It's a ball and socket joint. So ball and socket joint allow rotational movement in all directions. So it allows the movement in 360 degree Celsius, right? Okay, so or we can say that allow free movement. Yeah, allow free movement in all direction. It allows the arm and the leg to swing in a circular motion. Yeah, we can move our arm, our leg, yeah, swing in a circular motion. Okay, example of the ball and socket joint is shoulder joint and hip joint. Yeah, hip joint. So this example of the hip joint. Okay. Alright, so please remember that there are two types of the freely movable joint. What are they? Hinge joint and ball and socket joint. Okay, so please remember the example of the hinge joint. We can find it in our elbow, knee, and also phalanges. Right? Okay, if ball and socket joint, we can find it in our shoulder joint and hip joint. Okay, next we go to skeletal muscle, tendon, and ligament. Yeah, so this structure also are important in support and movement. Yeah, support and movement. Okay, skeletal muscle, tendon, and ligament. Yeah, ligament, right? Okay, we go to the skeletal muscle first. Okay, skeletal muscle, right? Okay, comprise bundles of muscle fiber. Yeah, consists of the bundle of muscle fiber with a large supply of nerves and blood vessels. Okay, so these are examples of the skeletal muscle. Okay, this one also skeletal muscle that consists of the muscle fiber, a nerve, and also blood vessels. Okay, the muscles work. Okay, you have to remember that skeletal muscles work in pairs. Yeah, work in pairs and act in opposite direction. Yeah, so this muscle work in pairs, yeah, and act in opposite direction. If one muscle contract, the other will relax. Yeah, the other will relax, yeah, and vice versa. Yeah, vice versa. Yeah. Okay, if the one muscle relax, the other will contract. Okay, so these types of muscle are known as antagonistic muscle. Antagonistic muscle. All right, antagonistic muscle. Why antagonist? Because this muscle act in opposite direction. Yeah, this muscle act in opposite direction. When one muscle contract, the other will relax. Alright. Okay, for example, this is our bicep, this is our tricep. So if tricep contract, the tricep will relax. Yeah, if the tricep contract, the bicep will relax. Okay, that is referred to the antagonistic muscles. Okay, next we go to the next point here. The bicep and tricep are example of antagonistic muscle? Yeah, bicep. So this is our bicep, this is our tricep. Okay. The muscle that strengthens the limbs, yeah, when it contracts is called extensor. Yeah, extensor. For example, the tricep. Okay, let's take a look on this diagram. So the muscle, okay, the muscle that straighten the limb. Okay, when we straighten the limb, that muscle which contract we call as extensor. We call as extensor. Extensor refer to the muscle that straighten the limb when it contract. Okay, so for example, tricep. Okay, so during straighten our limb, yeah, our forearm. Okay, so what happened? The tricep will contract. So tricep called as extensor. Yeah, extensor because it extend the limb. Right? Okay, next, the muscle that bends the limb when it contract is called flexor. Yeah, the muscle that bends the limb, okay, when it contract. So when we bend our forearm, okay, when we bend our forearm, the muscle which is contract, yeah, we call as flexor. Okay, so during bending our arm, the bicep is contract, right? So the bicep is contract, so the bicep is called flexor. Yeah, refer to the muscle that bends the limb. Bends the limb when it contract. We call as flexor. Okay, so that is a new term for you. Yeah, new term for you. Yeah, antagonistic muscle, extensor, and flexor. Okay, what is antagonistic muscle? Refer to the muscle that act in opposite direction. Okay, example of the antagonistic muscle is bicep and tricep. Okay, so tricep is extensor because it straightens the limbs when it contract. Yeah, and bicep is flexor. Yeah, bicep is flexor because it bend the limb. Yeah, bend the limb when it contract. All right. Okay. So that is referred to the skeletal muscle. Okay. Next, we go to the tendon. Okay, tendon. Yeah, tendon. Okay, what is the function of the tendon? Connects bone to the muscle. Yeah, connect bone and muscles. Okay, so look at here. So this is referred to the tendon. A tendon connect the muscle to the bone. Yeah, so this is bone, this is muscle, right? So the tendon will connect bone to the muscle, right? Okay, bone to the muscle. Okay, it consists of strong fibers. Yeah, it is very strong. The tendon is strong, not elastic but flexible. It is not elastic but flexible. Yeah, not elastic. Not elastic means it cannot be stretchable. Yeah, it does not stretchable. Yeah, all right, but flexible. Yeah, flexible. Okay, so what does it mean by the flexible? It is not easily break. Yeah, it is not easily break. All right. Okay, again, what is the function of the tendon? It connect bone to the muscle. The tendon connect bone here to the muscles, right? Okay, and then what are the characteristics of the tendon? It is strong. Yeah, tendon is strong but not elastic. It's not stretchable, right? But flexible. Yeah, flexible, not easily break down. Okay, and we go to the ligament. Okay, the structure. This structure is very important. Yeah. Okay, we call as ligament. So this is example of the ligament. Yeah, ligament connect bone to the bone. Okay. So, what is the function of the ligament? Connect bone to the bones. Yeah, it connect bone to the bones, right? So, bones are held together at the joint by the ligament, which consists of, okay, consists of strong, elastic, and tough connective tissue bundles. Okay, so ligament is strong, yeah, also strong such as a tendon, okay, strong, but it is elastic. Yeah, if tendon not elastic, but the ligament is elastic, it is stretchable, yeah, and tough, yeah, and tough, right? Okay, and then the ligament provides support and strength to the joint and allow bones to be bent at the joint, right? So the ligament will provide support and strength to the joint and allow bones to be bent at the joint. Okay, so I think that's all for today. I recap what we had learned today. So today we had learned about the joints, right? Okay, the joints. So what is joint? Joint refer to the point where the two or more bones meet. Alright, okay, the area or the point where the two or more bones meet, yeah, such as like this. So this is our elbow joint, yeah, it is a hinge joint, right? So it is a point where two or more bones meet, right? Okay, so we already learned about the three types of the joint, which is immovable joint, slightly movable joint, and also freely movable joint. Yeah, so make sure you can know the example of the three types of the joint. Okay, and then you also look at the general structure of the freely movable joint. Yeah, okay, the structure of the freely movable joint that consists of the synovial membrane, yeah, synovial fluid, the cartilage, yeah, and also the tendon, yeah, the ligament, and the skeletal muscle here. Right? Okay, I hope you can understand what we had learned today, and do your revision. Yeah, please do your own notes to understand more this subchapter. All right? Okay, so I think that's all for today. Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you.